Hello, my name is Jalonisabell. I consider myself a mixed media artist with a focus on graphic design and printmaking. Today, for my artist talk, I will discuss my processes in art with sketches to the final piece with two examples of my works. Let's begin. First, I'll talk about my working artist statement, since it's still in progress. To summarize what I have on screen, my purpose in making art is to tell stories of a black suburban kid through the use of distorted portraits. I like to have a messy style with my art and use a range of colors. My main mediums I use together are screen printing inks and oil pastels. And here are the two pieces I'll be talking about today. This is Swamped, a monotype series I made in October of 2021. For some background information, these prints were made with litho inks and oil pastels. The background was printed on the first layer with oil pastels over it. For all the foreground elements, they were all printed on Eastern paper, then cut down and collaged to the background. The meaning I had behind this piece was based on the word swamped relating to being overwhelmed, so I put the figure in a swamp. The addition of the laptop and paintbrushes were to signify the balance of work and school. Work being represented with the laptop and school being represented with the paintbrushes. My other piece is called Fleeting Thoughts, a 3 edition etching in aquatint. This piece was made in April of 2022. This was made from 3 different copper plates to get the wide range of colors in the print. The message I had for this piece was to represent the phrase fleeting thoughts of an older man trying to recall memories from a past as they drift away. To represent memories floating away, I had the figure had a waterway and had Navy ship fleets move away in the opposite directions the figure is facing. I wanted this piece to have a lot of movement to it, so I added lots of directional lines so the viewer's eyes moved throughout the piece. Moving on, I generally start my sketches with a small messy thumbnail or writing to get the thoughts out of my head before I have time to forget about them. On this slide, the top image is my thumbnail for Swamped. I keep most of these types of sketches in a 4x6 journal I call my black book. Next, I usually see if there's more details I can add or go straight into refining my sketch, as you see with the bottom image in this slide. As you can see with both sketches I presented, I tend to not get a perfect type sketch of my piece before moving on to the final print, just because I don't want to get bogged down with the specifics rather than having to see my piece evolve throughout its final prints. For fleeting thoughts, you can see a better idea of what I mean by sketches evolving through iterations without trying to perfect them. With these sketches, I follow the same steps of using my black book and transitioning to a more detailed sketch. But with this process, I also did a digital sketch. I do this to get a better idea of what colors I want to use for my final print, and this makes it easier for me to switch out colors before committing to the real thing. Since this print was also a multi-plate print, I wanted to separate each color onto a different layer to represent the separations of different colors on each plate. This is generally how far I go into my sketching process before I decide to move to attempting my actual prints. Before I end, here are two works of progress sketches I have at the moment. In relation to my artist statement, I want to keep evolving my work of art in their meaning and representation. With these two sketches, I take a subject matter of portraits and twist them in more non-traditional style of portrait work. Thank you for listening in on my artist talk, and I hope you leave here today with a better understanding of my process in art making and the messages I want to tell in my pieces.